So I have the very big pleasure to welcome in Studio Europa the Turkish Minister of EU Affairs, Minister Volkan Bozkir. So thanks very much for accepting this interview, Minister. And my first question would be about economics. Turkey is a very buoyant economy with a GDP of circa 620 billion euros, a growth of 4% per year. A very small public deficit, minus 0.3, and a very small public debt of circa 36% of the GDP. So, in your opinion, what can Europe, in terms of economy, make for Turkey, and what does Turkey can do for Europe?
Of course, this is a very healthy relation we have with the European Union. We have a customs union where $150 billion of trade volume exists every year. And we're trying to upgrade it by inserting agriculture, public procurement, and services so that after we achieve this trade volume between Turkey and the European Union will come to $300 billion. So there's a big potential there. Turkey itself is a big market, as you have mentioned. When there's a difficulty in economy in Europe and in the Western world, individual countries will need new markets to invest there, credible investments, and then bring back the added value to their countries and increase the employment, I think, and grow trade. And Turkey is one of the important countries to provide this, and we're looking forward really to extend this relation, increase this, because it's mutually beneficial. And we're proud that we came to this level.
A second question would be about geopolitics, obviously. Turkey, as I said, is member of the NATO since the beginning, and its diplomatic strengths and diplomatic history, as well as its geopolitical situation, makes of Turkey a crucial element in the management of the crisis in the Middle East. So what is Turkey ready to do, and what it is doing, and what do you expect to be able to achieve?
Well, becoming member to the European Union is our strategic target. But it doesn't mean that Turkey cannot have relations with other parts of the world. We are a member of NATO, we are a member of the Islamic Conference Organization, we are a member of economic development, which is from Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, the Central Asian governments, and we want to become observers to Latin American cooperation, African cooperation, ASEAN, or to Shanghai cooperation, so that it is becoming a complementary thing to the main target, which is the European Union membership. I think all the countries in today's world need these kind of enlarged relations, because the things are, you can't deal things with isolation. You have to really open to the world and increase the number of countries you collaborate with and have a say in other regions of the world. So I think Turkey is in a good place there, and Turkey is the chairman of the president of the G20 this year. And I think it's an important signal that Turkey can really become chairman to this wonderful, very credible foundation, the G20, and we're benefiting also and using this presidency also to improve the world economic situation, cooperating with the European Union to insert important elements like global warming or economic difficulties or moves in the environment, whatever. So Turkey is a part of the international community, but the main target is to become member to the European Union.
Yeah, but as far as the crisis in Middle East is concerned, the war in Iraq and terrorism, what kind of role can play Turkey?
Well, Turkey has 13 neighbors, and it's one of the most neighbor-having countries in the world, the fourth rank. And all of our neighbors, almost all of our neighbors are having difficulties,
yeah.
But Turkey is not the reason they are having difficulties. So
no, it can be a solution.
Exactly. So while fires are around Turkey, Turkey has shown that for 12 years there can be economic stability and political stability in the country. So what Turkey can provide is, the region is looking at Turkey for examining the reasons why Turkey have been stable for 12 years while the others had difficulties. So Turkey is the only country in the world having 99% of its population Muslims, but also secular, democratic, free market economy, and wanting to become member to the European Union. I think this example would be the hope for the region, for the Islamic world. That's why I think it is important not only for Turkey and EU, but for the region and for the world to have less terrorism, to have more stability, more peace in the region and in the world.
And you decided, obviously, in agreement with your government, to relaunch the accession process to the European Union. So why has it been so long and so slow? And what are your proposals to relaunch?
It is a 50 years story. It shows how stubborn, how patient, how tolerant and decided Turkey is. But we didn't relaunch it. It was always there. But with the new government, when we were talking about new Turkey to reach 2023, when it's our 100th anniversary of our Republic's proclamation, it was stressed again very strongly. So if it was missing, it would have been a disaster and it would be a very negative thing to happen. But it was reconfirmed. It wasn't relaunched, if I may say so. It has always been our strategic target. But we are really moving towards the membership. Even though you have mentioned one chapter is closed, 14 chapter was opened officially, but we opened all the chapters in Turkey. So worked 8 years as if all the chapters were officially opened to do what necessary. So we have opened in reality 28 chapters in Turkey and closed 14 chapters when the official figures are low. So we are ready to open any chapter. Including the chapter 23 and 24.
That was the question
exactly.
I wanted to raise, because
we can open it tomorrow.
Yeah.
The problem is not Turkey. We can open any chapter except competition in 2 months. But the European Union has a political difficulty to open chapters. But chapter 23 will give
which is about freedom of rights
and thought. It was the political criteria, which wasn't there for the 12 countries who negotiated.
Oh, yes, it is part of the Copenhagen criteria,
but it
one of the 3 pillars.
But it wasn't a part of the negotiation process. Chapter 23 and 24 became chapters when Turkey was starting negotiations. It wasn't there before. So we are happy that this chapter is there. If this chapter is opened, we are ready, we have fulfilled the opening criteria, and Europe will get the leverage lost to ask questions again. We have opened, even though no chapter was opened in 4 years except one, we made 367 new laws in Turkey.
Yeah.
So we are doing our part. But to open the chapter is the responsibility of the European Union. We will be able to open it in 2 months. Chapter 24 is former Home and Justice Affairs. Illegal immigration, border controls, readmission agreement is a part of Chapter 24. Even though it isn't open, we are fighting to stop the illegal immigration together with the European Union. So it's a pity that it's not open. But we are ready, as I mentioned once again, to open it tomorrow. In 2 months, it can be open. It's not the problem of Turkey.
In its last enlargement strategy, 2014-2015, the Commission pointed obviously on this problem of freedom of rights. And you made in Turkey some legislation about this, but there are still quite a lot of problems, as there are also some journalists in prison and so on. So is Turkey ready to go on in this direction to ameliorate the situation?
First of all, we have to understand the picture correctly. We're not starting today the political criteria reforms. We changed almost 2,000 laws in Turkey in 10 years. So it's because of that that Turkey started negotiations, because it was sufficiently fulfilling the Copenhagen political criteria said by the Commission that we started negotiations. So what we are doing now is from sufficiently fulfilling the political criteria to fully fulfilling. If you say it's 100%, we have done 95% of the obligations. So we're working on 5%. So some countries are looking at the pace. They think that we're at the stage from 2000 to 2004. Actually, we have done many things. We're ready to fulfill whatever necessary. But concerning the journalists in prison, we have to make one thing correct, because a journalist can also be in prison for activities.
As any kind of people.
Exactly. I mean, if
even politicians can be in prison.
Exactly. There's no privilege of anybody. So the 11 journalists who are mentioned in the JPC or important journalist groups lists are in jail because they have bombed banks or robbed banks or attacked police stations, killed people, and all of them are in jail today. I can give you the names because of what happened outside of journalistic activities. We are ready to really follow. If anybody thinks that a journalist in jail, please inform us. Our Prime Minister has mentioned this several times. We will be the follower of anybody in prison for reasons of expressing views or writing something in the journals. There is nobody in jail in Turkey because of what has been said or what has been written.
And what about the sex equality, women and men?
Well, the gender equality, we changed the constitution and made it a constitutional obligation that there is a gender equality. If you look at the, for example, the party ranks, there are more women working for the campaigns or in the politics. We will have perhaps a bigger number in the parliament because the scarf issue has been solved. Many women were not in the parliament because they felt like wearing a scarf, but the system didn't allow them to become a parliamentarian. This parliament will have more women with scarves, but more without scarves, perhaps. But in the judiciary system, it's 50%. In the university system, it's 50%. In my EU ministry, it's 55%. The woman is in good shape. And if the education we are following increases, then especially in some parts of Turkey, less developed parts, which has now really become a better part of Turkey, the education problem of women is being solved. So the woman is in the family as a important part, not just birth-giving elements. They're educated, they are having job opportunities, and because of that, women's role in economy and social life has increased in the last 10 years. And this is very healthy. We don't have a problem to that respect. And if you look at the television programs every night, you see ladies anchoring or participating in the debate until the morning. Every issue is debated. We have 7,000 newspapers and 258 TV channels, and a wonderful debate going on every night.
A last question, if you permit, Minister Bozkir. One of the main points which is slowing a little bit the negotiation is the relation between Turkey and Cyprus, particularly on the exploitation of hydrocarbon in the economic zone of Cyprus. Does Turkey intends to normalize its relation with Cyprus?
The Cyprus problem is a 50 years old problem, and our EU process is 50 years also. So I call them twins. They grew up together, but we are ready to really solve the Cyprus problem. Hydrocarbon issue is one single element in it, in the big forest. I think Cyprus problem is more solvable than the Syrian conflict or the Ukrainian conflict or the Palestinian problem, because the two leaders have announced parameters last February in 2014 on how to reach a final agreement. This is important, and I'm looking forward to see new developments, very positive developments very soon. And I think we have to remove this problem from our agenda. It's a shame that when we are talking about the 25th anniversary of falling down of the Berlin Wall, it's a shame that there's a divided island with a divided capital. Turkey is ready to do whatever necessary. It's good that we have a Greek Cypriot leader, Anastasiadis, who is a positive person. He has voted yes to the Annan plan, and I think he's also favorable to reach a solution. after the Turkish Cypriot elections in the coming days, I'm expecting good news from the island. It's my personal view, but sometimes one can feel that things are moving positively.
Let's hope like this. Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Minister
much.
Bozkir.
Thank you very much.